Gideon, can you hear me?
Very well, Captain.
What's going on?
They have no recourse but to follow the Captain's orders.
Rip.
Initiate Spectrum Protocol.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
That's probably not good.
You don't belong here.
DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Legends of Tomorrow and Arrow combined video. Just careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet. We'll see how this goes. Usually I don't like to combine videos, but if you're brand new to the channel, I do DC videos every week for the movies, for the TV shows. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. There's a reverse flash ring giveaway going on right now that I'll explain at the end of the video. But what I'm going to do is I'll start with the Legends of Tomorrow episode from this week, the Camelot 3000 episode. Then I'll talk about the Arrow episode, because everything is blowing up in everyone's faces in the best possible way. So it's only going to get crazier towards the end of the season. So instead of the normal top 10 WTF and Easter eggs, I just split this 5 and 5 for each of the episodes. So starting with Legends number 5, Welcome to the Year 3000. So we learn what happened to the Justice Society. They've been scattered across time. We're in the year 3000 in Detroit, and Rip Hunter is going after the spear fragment that Dr. Midnight has. Bit of a hat tip to how we're going to meet the rest of them. I'm really happy with the Justice Society this season. I hope they find a way to bring them back next season too. Anything goes when it comes to time travel. Doctor Who rules are that there are no rules. Like, you set up rules, then you proceed to break them each new season. I feel like if you've watched any time travel show, even Terminator breaks its own time travel rules all the time. Number 4, the title of the episode is a big Easter egg for the Camelot 3000 DC Comics graphic novel. So the story of the comic book was very different from the story of the episode. So what happens in the comic is that in the year 3000, King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table are resurrected, and it becomes this big space epic whereby Mordred is resurrected in the future on a foreign planet in the galaxy, leads an alien race to invade the Earth, and King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table have to stop it. If you have a bunch of time on your hands, I would recommend checking the story out because it's super crazy. Like, the Round Table in the year 3000 is in outer space. Like, they have their own watchtower like the Justice League, but it's Knights of the Round Table with swords, so it's super crazy. But number 3, this sort of feeds Ray's obsession with King Arthur wanting to be a knight versus Citizen Steel's historically accurate version of events. So he's like, none of this is real. He starts making fun of the way they dress. You guys are dressed like you're going to a Ren fair. I'm dressed like they actually did back in the 500s. So they had a lot of great jokes, but if you don't understand how King Arthur was real in the past, it's because Stargirl used her spear fragment to create Camelot. So all that's sort of like a fictitious but real thing created with the magic of the spear in order to protect it. So she's having a little bit of fun and protecting the spear fragment. Sword in the Stone. That was a nice twist with Vixen pulling it out, calling all of her totems at the same time.
It's set in stone. Not for long. Damn, that was badass.
Welcome back, Stargirl Merlin. I guess they made her Merlin because she carries the staff, and it does look kind of like magic. But it's always nice seeing her back. So they rally, they get ready for the big battle. Ray makes his lightsaber. Oh, careful, don't say that. Trademark infringement. I feel like the rhythm of the jokes this season actually work a lot better, but a lot of that has to do with Citizen Steel being a pop culture person himself and Ray being big on pop culture. Usually you need to have a couple of characters around so that other people actually get the jokes that they make. Like, Heatwave probably saw Star Wars, but that's just not his sense of humor. He has so much fun. My favorite Heatwave scene was in this episode where he puts the mind control device on and it's just like, I pity all of them, and he gives them all of his madness just to shut down the system. Literally the best part of the episode, and the most effective thing about it is that you're just left to wonder what it was that he actually showed him. Like, what was so messed up in his brain that it short-circuited all of that super advanced technology. It just had to be the worst nightmare imaginable. So they get to make Heatwave look really badass and tell a really awesome joke in the same moment. Big epic battle and the aftermath. They recapture evil Rip Hunter. They kind of tip the hat that they'll eventually fix him, but he's going to have a lot of fun being super evil because there's this backdoor to Gideon, so it's going to be utter chaos in the next episode. But they'll be going way into the distant past, and the explainer for the two Sarahs is that they're actually inside Rip Hunter's subconscious, so they have to fight evil versions of themselves. So that's what's going on. That's why there's two of them. But moving on to the Arrow stuff, everything on Arrow is getting burned to the ground, so I'll play the promo, then I'll explain what's going on in this episode and the next episode.
Mayor Oliver Queen's administration might be over.
If we lose this office, then Prometheus wins. Apparently, because of the impeachment hearing, I'm a criminal.
My target's the mayor and his corruption. You want me? Come on!
So the episode, eating everybody's sins, everything is getting burned down around them. Prometheus backstory, we visit his mother, they're still playing it like this is Justin Claiborne's illegitimate son. I know a lot of you have theories that there's some other big twist, but for now this is the information that they've given us, and she says she feels her son's justified, so she won't give his name up to Oliver, so they're just prolonging the mystery. Who is his name? Is it somebody that we've heard before? Does he have a familiar name? But I thought it was really interesting that she was super bitter about the Hood killing Justin Claiborne. So even though he was a terrible person, she still loved him. So it's just interesting how people can justify doing things when they think they have the moral high ground. And speaking of which, very timely, Bad Girls Club Prison Break. This is sort of like your intro to them bringing back very Suicide Squad things. They've teased that they can actually do Suicide Squad again. Like the actor that plays Diggle is like, oh yeah, we can totally do that if we want to. So when we hear a little bit more about that, I'll probably do a video. But the whole deal is that China White, which we haven't seen in forever, there was actually a couple of jokes about that. Cupid and Liza Warner release everyone, and they're going after money from Tobias Church. $100 million, and they're going to use it to take back the city. That's kind of a thing with all the characters this season. Everybody is taking back the city. All the bad guys. Prometheus is taking back the city. These girls are taking back the city. Team Arrow is taking back the city. So everybody feels like they have the moral high ground and they're doing the right thing. So I totally love the way the writers set that up and the way that the characters throw sins in each other's faces, all the terrible things they've done. So even though she left on a bit of a downer moment at the end of the episode, like, ooh, you're headed down a dark path, Thea was the wisest person in the episode. She gave the best advice about not becoming the sin eater yourself, taking everyone's sins on yourself. So like Quentin was kind of doing that with Liza Warner. Oliver was kind of doing that with Prometheus and the things that happened to Billy. And they had a great big final boss fight in the cemetery. We got to see Mr. Terrific wearing a comic book accurate jacket. He's been wearing the Fair Play jacket, but it's been black on red. And this white one is just a little bit more comic book accurate. Black Canary is wearing the mask. There was that nice moment with Quentin where he gave her his blessing as well as Laurel's blessing as well. So we'll see how that pans out. I was surprised at how fast they put her in the police department. So she's their person on the inside now. You kind of need someone working inside the justice system now that Quentin isn't doing that anymore. But number 3, the Susan Williams Green Arrow identity plotline sort of comes to a head. It's not completely over because she kind of knows who he is, but they effectively answer the question as to what's going to happen, and they take it in a way darker direction than I thought they would. So there's this big thing this season about trampling on people's rights. They kind of did that with the gun control issue last week. Felicity tramples all over Susan's rights of privacy, hacks her, and they totally discredit her. So it's also part of this darkening of Felicity's character and of Thea's character. Like Thea's slowly becoming her mother, little bit evil with the best of intentions, and even though she seems really happy about it, Felicity is darkening her soul a little bit. So we'll probably see some of the side effects of that later this season. But huge WTF. Number 2, it got out that Oliver manipulated evidence with the district attorney to cover up Billy's death. So his administration is blowing up. Prometheus wants to discredit him. In the way they presented the information in the episode, they do make it seem like Prometheus is behind all these big twists. The extra bit of evidence that turned the police onto Green Arrow, it just seemed like it came from Opal City. So unless there's some big twist, this is all Prometheus. So I don't think it's getting overly complicated. I do think it was him that engineered this situation, and he's trying to get rid of Oliver because he knows his secret identity. So number 1, trailer for the next episode is Vigilante versus Oliver. And if you've read the comics, It's a bit of a head scratcher given what happened in this past episode, but it's basically Oliver's fight with the vigilante that's kind of been going on in the background coming to a head. So maybe there'll be a big reveal about the vigilante's character. We haven't seen him with his hood off. They've been playing him more like an antagonist, but technically he's not Prometheus. He's not a psychopath himself. He's just a little bit crazy trying to do a good thing. So Wild Dog is sort of like the midpoint between Green Arrow and Vigilante. They both love guns, but Wild Dog is just a little less crazy than Vigilante. So you guys can let me know, what do you think is going to happen with Vigilante in the next episode? Because there's one of two ways this could go down. They unmask him and he becomes a true villain for Oliver this season in addition to Prometheus, or they take it in a slightly more hopeful direction and he actually starts working with Team Arrow, even though, just like the Punisher, he's too crazy to be on any one team, but he is capable of working with people and helping out for brief periods. It's just that he's going to be mowing down a lot of people while they're all figuring this out. So I know that they're hyping up this big battle between Oliver and the Vigilante, but remember, Prometheus is the truest villain of the season. And just a reminder that all the shows are back next week except for Legends of Tomorrow. And what's going to happen is that I'm going to be picking a day to do DC movie, DC comic book stuff, just DC stuff in general that is not episodes of TV, and an Avengers Day. But I haven't figured out which days of the week those are going to be. It'll be like Star Wars Fridays. So if you want to recommend a day in the comments, just let me know. I'll post an update video with like channel stuff like, hey, this is the stuff that's going on in the next couple of days, maybe sometime next week. But there is a new round of the Reverse Flash Ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber, leave a comment on this video. Congratulations to last week's giveaway winner, Cleo Wynn. Please private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. What's going to happen next is I have a really cool Thor Ragnarok video to post. Tom Hiddleston was going on and on teasing stuff for the movie, so we learned a bunch of information, so I'll post that in a couple hours. While you wait for that, you can click here for my Avengers, Inhumans, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. video, and you can click here for my Flash episode. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Let's high five. I'll see you in the next video.